Hello and welcome to the Daily Mill for Monday the 6th of January 2024. In today's Millwall news, we start off with the what would you call it? The uninvited guest that won't go away. It's the story that doesn't die. It keeps on going. I guess we have to wait until February the 3rd, which is when the transfer window closes, until this dies down, and then even then it will come back in the summer. So it's same old, same old. There's nothing really new. The only new thing is that the Grand Master, the Grand Wizard himself, Fabrizio Romano. If you don't know who that is, he's someone who's on social media. I don't know if he's a journalist or I think he's a journalist. He's not an agent. He's a journalist, I think. Italian, obviously. The name, Fabrizio Romano. Come on, he's Italian. Please. Yeah, he's one of these that when he posts something like Alan Nixon on Richard Corley with regards to anything Millwall, that when he posts something, people's heads swivel and they pay attention because he knows his onions. So this is from footballleagueworld.co.uk, but again, this isn't a story that they've made up. Well, they mentioned it before, but they're just going like all of the. I'm not going to read this because this is just they're going over the stuff that they've already mentioned. You know, the Standard. They say it's been in the Standard. It's been in the Telegraph. Yeah, but it's the same stuff that's just going around and around. There's nothing new there. But then, so the only new thing is the buy to loan. That Millwall didn't want to lose him for the season. They wanted to keep him until the end of the season. So someone said, well, how about if we buy him now and loan him back to you for the rest of the season? Then you've got him. He's not going anywhere for you until the end of the season. But he's still our player. Clever. You see how they do it? But this is the tweet they put up. So Fabrizio Romano. Crystal Palace have made an approach to sign Romain Esse as one of the players high on their list. Not an easy deal for January, but Millwall gem is appreciated by Palace. Come on. So there you go. So that's what got put up. And now we wait to see. Again, there was some talking about certain things. Nottingham Forest are thrown into it. I think AFC Bournemouth. But it looks like, Crystal Palace are the ones. Crystal Palace over and over again. But are these other teams genuinely interested, or are they just throwing it in to try and make the appearance that there's like a bidding war going on? We don't know, but here we go again. So, again, same old. Apparently, the Wolves thing with Tanganga. Wolves, I don't know if they signed or they've had bid for a centre-back somewhere else. So it looks like they've been diverted elsewhere. But, we wait to see. Obviously, in my opinion, in terms of staying up this season, Tanganga is the one. Because you saw at the start of the season when he was suspended for 3 games. What did we do? We were shipping goals left, right, centre. I'm not saying he's invincible. He does have his moments. But if Tanganga goes, I think, you got to watch out for the relegation. Because that's a very real possibility. But Esse, he's one for the future. He's doing very well at the moment. And we've seen, when he's played 2 games at 10 in the 10 position, scored 1 goal, and then they move him back to out wide. So there you go. But with regards of players coming in, as far as I know, I haven't really mentioned any yet. There have been a few names flying around, but there hasn't been any stories written up that I can put on the screen and show you. Just, hearsay, bits and pieces, and you don't know whether that's genuine interest. Like some of them, fans are saying we should buy this player, we should buy that player. But in terms of actual stories, articles being written, we have this one today. footballleagueworld.co.uk. Okay. So, Nottingham Forest defender Willy Boly is attracting transfer interest from both Millwall and Hull City this January, according to Africa Foot. So this is not from Football League World. Again, they haven't made this up. They've got it from somewhere else, but they've got it from a foreign publication, and they're packaging it up and they're putting it into the English market. Because I don't know if you didn't know this, most times when you go onto a search engine, it just searches for stuff in your own country, or sometimes, in maybe some American stuff as well. You're not searching the world, you're not searching the whole world. If you wanted to find that specific stuff, you'd have to go to like search engine for that country, like Google Serbia, Google Greece. If you just go on google.co.uk, you're not going to get any Greek stories, Serbian stories. That's not how that works. So according to Africa Foot, the 33-year-old's time at the City Ground could come to an end this month. The centre-back's contract is set to expire this summer, albeit there is a clause the club can trigger to extend it by a further 12 months. Boly's lack of game time and contract situations led to speculation over his future with the Premier League side this winter. It's been reported that both Millwall and Hull are keeping tabs on the situation involving Boly. The Ivorian, Côte d'Ivoire, has made just 4 appearances in the top flight this season, having fallen down the pecking order in Nuno Espirito Santo's plans. It's believed that Boly is open to a potential move amid his lack of minutes for the Reds. Millwall and Hull are both looking to add experience to their backline this month and could make a move for the Nottingham Forest player before the 3rd of February deadline. So, and then they're just waffling on. But they're waffling on, but they weren't the ones who come up with it. So let's go to Africa Foot. Let's go to the source. The originator. Posted on January the 4th. So this was 2 days ago on the 4th of January. On the day we played Sheffield Wednesday. And this is from africafoot.com. And I will say that this has been automatically translated by my browser, Microsoft Edge. I believe from French. Sir Thomas Grappindor wrote this article. Willy Boly is getting closer to departure from Nottingham Forest at the start of the winter transfer window. Negotiations for a contract extension are at a standstill, and several clubs intend to take advantage of it. The Ivorian defender will be a target of Millwall and Hull City during this transfer window. Willy Boly does not fit into the game plans of Nuno Espirito Santo, manager of Nottingham Forest. Indeed, he's only started twice in 5 games. In all competitions, in addition, discussions for a contract extension have been stopped between the various parties. The 33-year-old Ivorian defender has no shortage of suitors for the opening of this January 2025 transfer window. According to information from Africa Foot, Willy Boly would be coveted by 2 clubs in England. The former Wolverhampton player is said to be of interest in Millwall and Hull City. These 2 clubs, which play in the Championship, want to rely on experience to stabilise the English second division. I think that means to stay in the division, to stabilise their position in the division. Because obviously Hull are in the relegation places, and we're about 7 points off that, 6 points. Willy Boly would be open to a move as early as January 2025. The Ivorian central defender is valued at €2 million on transfer market. But then they say valued at 2.5 million. Willy Boly currently receives an annual salary of €2.5 million with the Tricky Trees. Very soon, Millwall will play their Championship match day 26 match. Well, yeah. And then they talk about that. So that's it. That was the thing that got put up. So, is this a loan deal? Because he's not playing. Is he better than Murray Wallace? He's older than Murray Wallace. A lot older. He's a Premiership player. He's a player of some standing. Correct me if I'm wrong. No disrespect to Murray Wallace, but I don't believe he's played in the Premier League. Maybe in the Scottish Premier League. Not in the English Premier League. So is this just a loan deal until the end of the season so he can play some games? But then, obviously, we have Murray Wallace, we've got Harding. You would imagine one of them would go, probably Harding, because he's not even, sometimes he's not even getting on the bench. So let's have a look at this guy. This is from WhoScored.com. Willy Boly. 33 years old, but his birthday is on the 3rd of February. So in a month's time, he's going to be 34 years old. He's 195 centimetres. That is bloody big. That is, I think 183 is 5'11". So he's probably, 6'5". So here we go. Is this to get us through to the end of the season? Or is there some bad news with Jake Cooper? Is Jake Cooper's injury going to take a bit longer than we expected? Or is this literally just to give us better defensive options? Maybe he comes in, plays with Tanganga, and Murray Wallace goes left back. But I mean, Murray Wallace at left back or Joe Bryan at left back. I mean, I guess I would take Murray Wallace at left back because Joe Bryan is, you've seen him for yourself. But this guy, he's getting on a bit. Have his legs gone? Don't know. But obviously, going back, now, he was at Wolves. He joined Wolves in 2017-18. Here's the thing. George Saville was at Wolves around about the same time, but I believe that George Saville left the season before, so they didn't cross paths, so I don't think they know each other. So there is that. But you can see, so if we go back a couple of years, 22-23, his scores have been pretty decent, but they do seem to be going down and down and down. Now, the way they do this is kind of weird. They've got each competition separately, so they've got the Premier League, the League Cup, the Premier League, the League Cup, African Cup of Nations, etc., etc. So if we go back a couple of seasons, you can see in the English Premier League, he's a Premier League player 9 times. So he seems to be a squad player in the Premier League. 9 times he started two sub appearances, 687 minutes, got an assist. But his rating is 6.61 in the Premier League. Yeah, that's not bad, huh? It's not like he only played 1 game; he played 9 games. And then we go to the season later, 6.94. Played more games, 18 appearances, 2 substitute appearances. Scored 2 goals. So he's not a prolific goal scorer. He has scored goals in the past. His highest seems to be 4 in a season, 2018-19. But again, that's in the Premier League. And then we've got this season currently. Started 1 game, 3 sub appearances, 113 minutes, 6.35 average rating. And aerials 1 of 1.3, so average, that's per game. So it does vary wildly to some extent. And he played 1 game in the EFL Cup, which went to extra time because it's 121 minutes, 92.5% passing accuracy, 3 aerials, 1, and he got a rating of 6.91. So see, I don't know who that's against. I don't know if it was against. Obviously, it can only be a League 2 team and above. So, but I mean, is this a long-term deal? Certainly not. Well, I hope not. But for a loan until the end of the season, not bad. Why not? But again, obviously we're waiting for Scanlon to come back. I assume we can't get out of that deal, even he was injured. I guess it's up to maybe Liverpool can get out of the deal and we can't get out of the deal. Don't know, but we certainly need something better at left back for sure, 100%. But Premier League centre back, even though he is going to be 34 years old, I mean, Why not? Why not? Now, moving on to this, some more comments from the manager about Mihailo Ivanovic. So from southernnews.co.uk, he's been an absolute handful. Millwall boss praises Mihailo Ivanovic and reveals how he plans to use the striker. Alex Neil praised striker Mihailo Ivanovic's performance in the past 2 games, describing him as an absolute handful. Neil, appointed Millwall boss last Monday, has named Ivanovic as a starting 11 in both matches under his management. A 1-0 loss to Oxford United on New Year's Day at the Den and a dramatic 2-2 draw at Sheffield Wednesday on Saturday. Ivanovic, 20, has started 5 league games this season after being made Millwall's records signing in the summer, 3 of which have come in the Lions' last 4 matches. The Serbian striker has 2 league goals to his name, both scored after coming off the bench though. Well, I think in the last 2 games he's been an absolute handful, Neil said. I think that allows us to go more direct because, he's 6 foot plus. He's not going to win every header, but, if I'm being honest, I don't actually want him flicking things on because we're not that type of team, and well, it's a big man, wee man. We wanted to go up and stick up there so we can pick up second balls, and I thought he did that brilliantly. And this is what I was saying in the video yesterday. The tactical changes that Alex Neil's made by tucking in Romain Esse and tucking in Femi Aziz to pick up those second balls. So there you go. Certainly, he's saying it. That's the point. It's not big man, wee man. It's big man, 3 wee men, because don't forget George Youngman's there as well. Now, the rumours, speculation, fan talk about Kevin Nisbet being recalled because we need someone who can score goals in the Championship, and Kevin Nisbet scored 5 goals in the Championship last season, and he didn't have the best of seasons, But obviously, you got a new boss. New boss is Scottish. Kevin Nisbet's Scottish. Don't know if you know that, it's Scottish. So maybe there's a new opportunity for Kevin Nisbet to come back and prove himself, but we'll find out. What's happening here is from southernnews.co.uk. 4K views, not bad, well done guys. Millwall boss Alex Neil said he had not thought about potentially recalling striker Kevin Nisbet from Aberdeen in the January transfer window. Nisbet, 27, joined the Lions in the summer of 2023 and made 27 league appearances his first season, scoring 5 goals. Nisbet was dropped. Now it's kind of misleading because I'm pretty sure it's 13 starts. He only started 13 games. Nisbet was dropped from Mill's matchday squad on the last day of the season due to a disciplinary matter and was sent on loan to Aberdeen in August 2024 after just 1 season in South East London. The Scot has made 15 appearances for the Dons so far, scoring 4 goals. The Lions have scored 24 goals in 25 league games so far, the joint lowest in the Championship with Stoke City and Plymouth Argyle, and will potentially be looking for attacking reinforcements with winger Adomu Maku out with a long-term injury until March, and striker Josh Coburn still recovering from a broken metatarsal. And that, I believe, he's supposed to be back in January, but no sign of him yet. He wants to get on the... he wants to be drinking some milk, mate. Get on the pint of some milk. Accrington Stanley, who are they exactly? However, Neil, who was appointed Millwall head coach a week ago, has not yet considered recalling the striker. I've not even thought about that. I'll be honest with you. I think I've been on my job less than a week and my feet haven't touched the ground yet, and we've got huge amounts of work to do, so that's not even sort of been something that I thought about. When asked if he had any particular hopes or expectations for the transfer window, Neil said, "Oh, not particularly. I think any hope for any transfer window for any manager at any club really is, going to be, can we come out of the transfer window in better shape, sort of, than we entered it? But there's some factors within that, that sometimes you're not getting any control over, so it can prove to be difficult. If somebody comes along with big money for one of your players, then that becomes an issue that you need to deal with as a club." Foreshadowing. I believe that's what we call in the business, is foreshadowing. He knows something that you can't talk about, but he skirts around it. Sometimes you're not getting any control over, so that can prove to be difficult. If somebody, Crystal Palace, comes along with big money for one of your players, Romain Esse, then that becomes an issue that you need to deal with as a club. Again, not the fact that, you have to sell or you sell, but if you need to manage it, because what you need to realize is that the player can instantaneously become stinking fucking rich by signing on at Premier League club. At the moment, in the Championship, it's not bad. It's like a CEO, like a CEO, a decent, vice president at, what would you call, Alfred's or something like that, getting decent money. Vice president, well, let's say vice president at FTSE 250 company. You sign for a Premier League team, you're rich for a long time, unless you piss all your money away. So when the player can see and feel and smell the money very close, and then you're the ones who say, oh, no, oh, no, not at all. That player might be very upset about that, and I'm sure his agent's going to be very upset about that because he gets commission on that. So you're going to have to deal with a lot of upset people who you've just said no for them to be able to get a lot of money. So even if you don't sell them, you've got an upset player that needs to be managed properly. So there you go. Well, the transfer window at the moment hasn't been a huge discussion point at this stage, because I basically just walked in the door. I had a game basically the following day, and then we had a day off for the players, so I could prep the next one and debrief that one. And then we had one sort of half prep day that we walked through to try and preserve the legs, and then we've travelled 4 hours up to Sheffield. So as I said, there's been very limited time spent in anything else apart from the games. Yeah, very busy. Very busy, but obviously we've got time this week because we don't play until Monday. So a lot of time. Maybe some scouting missions on Saturday? Why not? Now, moving on to the youth. George Evans, bizarrely, has joined Sutton United on loan in the National League. George Evans has joined Sutton United on a 28-day youth loan. The under-21s goalkeeper will look to gain vital experience at Steve Morrison's Vanarama National League club, where current fellow Aloni Chinockley also resides. Evans has been given permission to play in the FA Trophy, meaning that he could make his debut at home to Tamworth in the 4th round on Saturday afternoon. I don't know. To be honest, I've seen a bit of this guy play. I'm not sure he's at that level yet, so I don't know why they signed him up. Maybe just to sit on the bench as a number 2, just in case. I don't know if they're like the Crawley thing that their keeper's injured or what, but I wouldn't say George Evans is good enough for the National League at the moment to be a starter. So I think this literally is just a bit of work experience, I would say. Because he has been on, I think he's been on loan before. He went to some club in Horsham, but not Horsham. Broadbridge Heath, something like that. And he played a few games there, and that was way down the steps. Probably like step 7. So to play at step 1, yeah, I don't think so. But, why not? Keep your eyes open, learn from it, see what you can do. Talking of youth, so the QPR game that I told you about yesterday, it seems like it's taking place. And it better take place, because if I travel all the way to stinking Southall to go to this game and they cancel it, I'm there, I'm going to be spitting feathers. So yeah, if you didn't know, tomorrow, Tuesday night, kick off at 7 p.m, it's at Hayes and Yeadings Stadium, the Sky X Community Stadium. You can go to a game. If you want to go to an under-21 game, Because Mill's first team ain't playing until Monday. There's a game today, Tuesday. You can get there on the what's the line? Elizabeth line. Takes 30 minutes from Liverpool Street. It costs £5 for adults, £3 for concessions. Junior under 18s are free, but I'm not sure if that's under 18s or their QPR like members, because this is from QPR.co.uk. And obviously QPR season ticket holders can get in for £3. The address is Sky Community Stadium, Beaconsfield Road, Hayes, UB4 SL. So UB40 SL. Easy to remember. Why not? And that is here, which is halfway between Southall and Hayes and Harlington, which is over there. Right on the banks of the Grand Union Canal. It's literally where the arrow is pointing. So, and all of those buildings there above it, like an industrial estate. So I think there should be plenty of parking there. There's also like retail parks and stuff with like Halfords and Matalands and shit in. But so obviously, if you're going to park in there, just check for any signs about how long you're allowed in there. Otherwise, they'll get you with the clamp and shit like that, tickets and stuff. So yeah, tomorrow night it's supposed to be going ahead. Hopefully it does. Under 21s, 7 p.m. kickoff, way out in West London. And on that note, thank you for watching, and goodbye.